Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited because I feel like I have not seen you guys in a while. Hi guys. So today's topic, actually let's go back. I just want to say this. Anything that I bring to the forefront here on my YouTube channel, it is because I have the topics that I bring to you guys' attention. The topic itself show up in my personal life. So I have a personal connection to the topic. I have an understanding to where when I discuss things from my own understanding and perspective of experiencing the topic at hand. And I'm just bringing what I have come to understanding around the topic. I'm just bringing that to the forefront. I just say that to say I am your mirror. You are my mirror. And I know that I am not the only person that is facing these different internal dialogue, internal topics, okay? And me being the type of person that I am, going over things again and again and again until I come to a conclusion within my being, within myself. Now, I really want to bring to your attention the self-talk discussion that I've had with myself a few times. The importance of surrenderance versus control. So, if you see me just looking down, I wrote a ton of notes. I have had a ton of journal topics around this. So I have a lot to say, but I'm just going to compact it because I don't want this video to be too long. I'm just bringing awareness around the idea, around this topic. So, with becoming self-made, you guys, there is an emphasis on one's mentality. How are you grooming your mental? We put emphasis on faith because faith is that foresight. What is drive, the ambition, the passion, and connection to your heart space. So your faith is what connects you to your heart space, and it is propelling you forward, right? And then lastly, I feel like we put an emphasis on perspective, which I do believe it can go hand in hand with mentality, but I put them in two different separate categories because I feel like perspective is literally an emphasis on how are you continuously fueling things, right? And I do believe that the fuel that you have, what's keeping you in that uplifted state, is your awareness around perspective. So with you building yourself from the ground up, you are keeping a mental note and taking heed of how your mind is being shaped and how it serves as your anchor and how you see points of views. Perception bridges subjectivity, and subjection bridges deeper understanding, a deeper personalized understanding, which is helping you from being closed-minded. It's one thing to feel like you know exactly what you want, and then there's another thing, feel like you know what you want because you feel it, because God is putting this want, this desire on your heart. Essentially, what that does is you following what you know God put on your heart to bridges your higher self, who you are meant to be. So I just say these things to say, in this process of becoming self-made, you have these three very important tiers that makes or break your momentum. And I feel like I'm putting an extra emphasis on momentum because what is happening is we are one with the universe, one with the Creator. These attributes, these energies, these lifelines, these energetic lifelines are within you, centered within you, exists within you. So with the understanding that you make a wish, you believe it to be true. What happens is, with believing it to be truth, anchoring yourself in faith that this be made into its material form because I deemed it so, the universe willed it so, a reality specially created for me. So these are the different phases that you are faced with when it comes to becoming self-made and manifesting a reality. You have to understand that there is a thin line between control and surrenderance. Control is a mechanism in which you wire your brain, your body, your being to manipulate an outcome. Control versus surrenderance in this instance is the act of allowing things to happen in its designed timing. When you put out a recipe for your manifested life, when you put out a request, understand that the universe responds in making space, leaving things, breaking down things. That can look like multiple different, I'm gonna say, chain of reactions in which you maybe lose your job. Things may look like things are looking down, things are not happening to you in a positive upward, things are happening to you in a downward spiral. But a true spiritual warrior understands that you cannot have the positive without the negative. The negative is always entwined with the positive. A smart person understands that with positive thoughts comes negative thoughts to a certain extent. You being the person that you are, the creator of your reality, meaning you have a say-so in what is being manifested. So because you are this creator, right, you have to maintain the tone of your life. Maintaining the tone of your life looks like understanding that you have to be the alchemist. You have to look on the bright side of things continuously. You have to rewire your brain to understand that bad is good. You can't have the good without the bad. You making a wish and the universe seeing that wish through, that's not always going to look pretty, right? So as a human living in an experience to where you are again experiencing these downward spiral things happening, you just got evicted, anything bad that is happening or anything that seems to be bad, it's happening, chain of reaction, and you begin to try to control. Let me go ahead and do this so that I can stop this from happening, when this, whatever is happening, is the inevitable happening. Because the inevitable is happening, it's ushering in a new reality for you. And for that new reality to happen, again, something has to be taken away. And so to a point where surrenderance is a thing. How do you get here? How do you know when you are in this ebb of surrenderance? You understand, you know that you're there, and when you understand and you understand that your body matters, listening to how you feel matters. When you wake up, especially when you're moving from a hyper independence where you are overly proactive with independence, that's work, and more work, moving around, right? Fast pacedness. moving from a fast-paced energy to an energy where you're slowing down. You're slowing down because there are phases in life. There are phases that are in between the in-betweens, okay? And understanding this is when you seek and know that surrenderance comes from the journey of manifestation, the journey of having faith, the journey of understanding for my reality to come to its fruition. Yes, I have to alchemize. I'm going to have to alchemize. I'm going to have to be the bigger person. I'm going to have to fix my perspective around things. While you're waiting, right? You're waiting for this manifestation to become. You are building thyself. You're building your mind. You're building your brand. You're building your body. You're building you. You get all of the attention. You get all of the love. All of the love. This higher manifestation of reality that the universe is ushering in for you is calling for a higher version of who you are. Understand that you have to be a vibrational match for whatever it is that you're calling in. If you're not a vibrational match, then you will miss it. Within the process of surrenderance, you stand where you are in that process. You center yourself in gratitude. Gratitude, in my opinion, is the highest expression of love, the highest expression that will allow you to center clarity within your being, with just embodying gratitude itself. From there, you move to understanding of where you are in your surrenderance process. This is so important because this aids in natural flow of things. Everything has its own timing, and when you understand that, you relinquish control. You focus on things that you can control, and the things that you cannot control, guess what? Fix your perspective. What is happening in your life right now is a necessary shift that is needed so that you can become more open-minded, so that you can become more resilient. Okay? These many sectors in between of manifesting, these are super important sub factors, because what is happening is you are literally becoming anew from the ground up. When we say anew, we are saying you are challenging your own status quotas. You are challenging your old mindsets. You are continuously building on that skill that is going to make you successful. On the other side of your manifestation is a millionaire. Millionaire you, the billionaire you. That person is going to have to deal with way more. You are navigating energies externally and internally. You are navigating your evolution. I allow myself to flow. I allow things to flow abundantly and abruptly, releasing control, and I float with this flow, grounded in my faith that is centered in my heart space, in my mind space, and in my foresight. This is so important because I feel like a lot of people don't discuss and they don't touch on how it is so important within becoming self-made, especially, but also within the manifestation process, that because you wished for something, it is deemed so. However, is an illusion. You may think something is taking forever, but in reality, it's right around the corner. Time waits for none. And so when you are in this phase of manifesting and you understand that what's for you is coming, when you acknowledge it, you respond with faith and groundedness. You center yourself and you begin to ask yourself, what do you need? What do you need to continuously show up as this focused, positive, and polished person? Okay? Surrendering to the ebb and flow of you, surrendering to what your body is calling for you to do. Again, moving away from hyper independence, where you're working, doing, to slowing down and checking in with yourself. Do I need to take a walk today? Do I need to turn my phone off? Do I need to just really stretch? Do I really need to center myself with mantra talk? Do I need a shower to really clear this energy? Do I need to clean? Right? Checking in with yourself is super important, okay, guys? And not only does checking in saves so much wasted time, because what is happening is we are moving from unintentional works to intentional work, okay? Everything that we do with intention, because we understand that we are on this route of completion. We are manifesting a reality that requires our focus, our unwavering faith, resilience, consistency, stubbornness, creativeness, open-mindedness. We need all of that. We need science, metaphysical, imagination, God, okay? We need to be realistic. We need all of it. Okay, we need all of it. We need to make sure that we're not cluttering ourselves, cluttering our day as well. Because ask yourself, what does my day today look like as a millionaire? When you receive the reality that you have manifested, the reality that you're manifesting, when you wake up in that reality, what does a day of that reality look like? Right? It looks slow. It looks filled with self-love. It looks like it is filled with words of love, encouragement, upliftment. And literally, you guys, this is what it means to fall into that flow, that fluid state of romanticizing life. Okay, romanticizing life, of falling in love with who you are in the process of becoming. Falling in love with the process means that you are falling in love with the journey. You are falling in love with yourself being the student and the teacher. You are falling in love with both of these selves that are showing in your day-to-day existence. Not only are you falling in love with these different sides to yourself, right? But you're also falling in love with problem solving. Okay, you're getting acquainted with it. You're getting an understanding of cause and effect. You're getting an understanding of what you can control versus what you can't control. You're getting an understanding of what it takes to become the better version, the higher version, the greater version of you that has requested that manifested reality that is coming to fruition. So, you guys, I hope this made sense. We all struggle with wanting something and wanting it when we want it and not when it's the right time for us to receive something. Okay? Faith without works is dead. Higher power is going to work it out for you. You have faith that it is going to be brought to you. You have faith that everything is going to be working out for your favor. However, it is still up to you to put in that back end work. Fixing your perspective, training your mentality, reprogramming your subconscious, and taking your time with understanding, loving yourself, knowing yourself, grooming yourself. Because you guys, this is so freaking important. Grooming yourself, taking care of yourself, loving yourself is so important because you are your greatest mentor, teacher. Only you have the power to destroy you. Self-sabotage, okay? So I feel like this cycle is so important because I feel like not only has God put this on my heart to discuss, but again, as I stated in the beginning of my video, that anything that I discuss, I am actively dealing with it on a personal scale. And I say that to say that right now in my life, I feel like I am being challenged to surrender to the flow of what God is giving me an opportunity for. Opportunity exists in time and space. You can only tell that it is an opportunity is when you feel it. Because you're so present. You're so present in the present moment. You're not worried about what you would have done back then, back when, because you were in control. You were controlling an outcome. You were manipulating your what, when, how, where to. You're manipulating all these things to have a specific outcome. When you move from a specific outcome to the beauty and the unknown, you feel like, whoa, I'm up in the air. That's what life is about. And God has not only put that on my heart, but in my face. Continuously in my face. As much as you want to put your head down and just be so straight and narrow and control and need this to be this way, this to be this way, this to be this way, let me tell you something. Even what you're manifesting, you can visualize something and close your eyes and say this is what you want, but the reality when it's brought to you in your face and you're living it, let me tell you, it's going to be even better, even bigger than you even imagined it. Okay? So, oh my gosh, I am super grateful for this word. I'm super grateful for this understanding because not only does it bridge further understanding of where I am, where I'm headed, and of this process of becoming self-made, because this process of becoming self-made is very essential when we talk about the secret, understanding manifestation, and understanding that you deserve the best life ever. With that understanding and with that knowing, you begin to move like it. With expectation, with you expecting it to show up, you're feeling emotion, you're feeling faith, you're feeling your perspective, your mentality. All of these things are being fueled. When you understand that you are the alchemist, you have to continuously change a negative into a positive. Sometimes you have to bring yourself to joy, bring yourself to a state of enlightenment where you are content. You are content with what is happening right now in your reality because you understand that in time, this too will pass. Okay? I love you so much. I hope this resonated. I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.